So Halloween is coming up and I just had like a silly little idea pop into my mind the other day for maybe like a simple costume for someone who doesn't really like dressing up in costume but kind of doesn't want to be left out. This might be the perfect thing. So I've got this idea, and just visualize with me. Bucket hat. Ghosty bucket hat. So like a bucket hat made from tulle that goes over the face and then like cut eyes out potentially, or maybe stick eyes up on the top. Are you still with me? I don't know if it's going to give ghosty vibes or gothic wedding bride vibes, but we're gonna give it a go. I mean, sometimes you've just got an idea and you've just got to see it through, and sometimes they're good and sometimes they're not so good, but sometimes they're actual gems. So I'm gonna just bang this one out. I don't think it's gonna take long and we'll see where it ends up. Hi, I'm Sue-Ching Lascelles. Welcome to my channel, Making Happy Things. If you've just found me, welcome. If you've been around for a while, well, my channel's pretty new, but you may have been following me on Instagram. Hello again and welcome. Please remember to like and subscribe. I'm so excited to keep making projects with you, so let's get started. So here are the materials I'm using. I've got a hat pattern, more on that in a minute. I've got tulle, bias binding, standard sewing supplies, and of course my sewing machine. So I'm going to start with the bucket hat pattern. My pattern is from LB Textiles, but there are many free patterns you can download online if you Google bucket hat pattern free, and I might pop some links down in the description to make it easy for you to find it. So we've got the top of the bucket hat, and which is the circle, the band, and then we've got the brim, but the brim is the one that I want to alter because we want to extend it and make it longer. I've done a rough, very rough drawing into my phone of potentially what this might look like. I might just measure down from my face. So if the bucket hat, you know, probably ends there, and maybe I want my ghosty bit to go about here. Add some extra seam allowance, so let's call it 12 inches from the measurement. So I'm going to add that to my brim piece. Well, make sure my total brim piece is that, and then yeah, I think that should be the pattern piece ready to go. So I've got my three pattern pieces. We've got the top of the hat, the band, and then our altered brim, which we've extended. And I'm going to take my tulle now and cut out the pieces from it. Okay, so we've got all our pieces cut out. We've got our two brim pieces that have been altered. What's this piece called? The band. And then we've got the crown, or the top of the hat. Normally this hat is lined, so you would cut out doubles or a lining for each of these pieces, but because we're going for that ghosty see-through look, I'm going to keep it single layered, and I'm probably going to just do maybe like a French seam, which is where you sew one side, fold it back on itself, and fold it and sew the other side too and close the seam. So sewing French seams on tulle will make it less scratchy, and it will also give the seams a bit of strength, so I think that is ideal to do that. I don't have the instructions printed out for this hat, but I'm just going to figure it out, I think, as I go. Hopefully that's not a bad move. So I'm going to turn my sewing machine on and sew that together. Let's go. So typically if you're doing a French seam, you do wrong sides together, flip it over and do right sides together. If you're sewing a normal seam, you would generally be doing right sides together and then finishing your seam. So I'm going to go straight in here. Hope this is right. I'm doing a narrow seam. I mean, I don't think there's a wrong or a right side here, so. Or is there? I don't know with tulle. Anyway, and with a French seam, yeah, you would normally trim it a little. So my seam is sewn and I've just trimmed the seam allowance down. Now I'm going to flip it back on itself around the opposite way and sew another seam, narrow. And that's what it ends up looking like. So now my seam is it's nice and smooth, and that can go to the inside, and it's fairly invisible. test. Yeah, no, that's cool. It's giving bride right now. I don't know how to give it ghost. This is what I was afraid of. This is exactly what I was afraid of. Anyway, we're gonna figure that out. Let's just get this hat finished first. Just stay with me on this. Trust, but maybe not. It's giving like dun 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 dun. Okay. Whew. Okay, so that's all finished. That's inside out. That's what it looks like. And I'm gonna go try it on and amuse myself with that. So, okay. So that's where we're at with it. The hat is finished. This is what it looks like. You probably can't really see it. It's hard to see white on with the tulle. But basically it's the bucket shape hat and I'm going to try it on now. There is a couple of things I want to do. I want to finish the bottom with bias binding just to give it a softer edge. And I want to put some eyes on it, but how I do that I need to work out. Yeah, but this is the first try on just to see how we go. I'm going to take my glasses off because it's going to get in the way and I need to take my hair out. Okay, I'm nervous. I can't see because I don't have my glasses on, but it feels funny. I feel like this part's a little bit too deep because if you're wearing a hat, you'd probably tip it back a little bit more. Yes, so that's that. I mean, it's cool. Let's just keep, I'm just gonna keep going with it. Now I'll put the bias binding on the outside and that's what it looks like. It's actually looking pretty cool. And now I think I just want to do eyes and I think I'm going to do cutout eyes with black bias binding. I'm going to go to the mirror and figure out what I'm going to do with that. That's how it's looking. It's looking cute. Went into the mirror and I drew like with some black marker. Can you see those? Drew where my eyes are roughly, and I'm gonna cut those out and then put some black bias binding around it. I mean, it's giving bridal, it's giving beekeeper. But it could also be giving ghost. So I'm just gonna keep persevering with it and see how it goes. I mean, it's giving a lot of things at the moment. The eyes have been done with bias binding. And obviously I showed you the edge. And I'm not gonna lie, that was really hard to do because obviously where I cut through the seam, then my French seams actually started coming apart because I didn't reinforce them because I was lazy and I'd already put my black thread in. So I just tried to make it work, but some of my seam is actually coming undone here, so that's a little bit shoddy after I went to all the trouble of doing those French seams and just for it to fall apart a little bit at the end. But that's what happens when you're lazy. So here we go, let's put it on. I'm gonna take my glasses off for this and reveal. How does it look? I can't see because I don't have glasses. I can't have my glasses on, but I'm gonna go and have a look at it in the mirror and hang on. Oh, it's cute. That is so cute. Are you kidding me? That's cute. I can see it when I go up close. Look, the eyes are a bit wonky, but I like that because it's like the perfect ghost. Ooh. I'm gonna go put an all black outfit on because I think that would make it really pop, and come back and do a bit of a Ooh.